Hey guys, how's it going? It is your boy, Manga Man Drew, and I'm here to cover the spoilers for My Hero Academia Manga Chapter 376. This is going to be most likely a shorter video because from what we see, the chapter is going to be a lot shorter, but there is some stuff that I want to bring up before we dive into the spoilers proper. For starters, Jump Festa has been going on, so there's some information that I will not address in this video, but hopefully in a later video about what's going on with Horikoshi, some very concerning things occurring with his health, which may tie into the fact why we have a very few chapter count in this most likely chapter. As well as we do get the popularity poll for My Hero Academia's, if I remember correctly, 8th popularity poll, and that's something else that I'm going to bring up most likely in a second video, if not during the review proper. And now, without the way, let's go into the spoilers proper and talk about what's going to be in this chapter. For starters, the title of this chapter is most likely going to be Good Luck Comes by Cuffing, which I'm not 100% sure what that is going to entail, but hopefully a different translation will enlighten me on this idea. But going more into the actual spoiler text, the chapter begins with Ochako and Tsuyu arriving at Gunga and Toga transforming into Twice, saying that they are too stubborn. She says that the young girl who liked to talk about love doesn't exist anymore. The Twice clones are increasing and fighting the heroes. Komui saves Komori and Shishiro tells them to move the captured villains away from there so that Twice doesn't set them free. Tsuyu realizes that Dabi is also there and wonders if Shoto, Shoji, and the others are okay. So we're most likely getting in this chapter pretty much Uraraka and Froppy just recollecting their thoughts on what's happening right now, addressing the situation at hand, and addressing Toga, who brings up this idea that she no longer is the person that wants to talk about romance or is that young girl anymore, but we see that through her hesitation that may not necessarily be the case. But even so, we still get more with other characters in this chapter, potentially with Jiro and Tokoyami going to the two, and Froppy notices Jiro's ear, but Jiro says that this is just a low price to pay to fight against the Demon Lord. They say that the army of Twices has the potential to take over Japan and that Dabi's fire is too hot for them to approach. Cut to Dabi versus Endeavor, and he notices that the X on Toya's chest looks like phosphor that Shoto described. He asks what Toya did to Shoto, and he says that he wanted to take him as a present, but he didn't manage to. Now his goal will never be fully accomplished. That's why he at least wants to destroy something important for the Endeavor, something that he's trying to protect. An internal monologue from All For One begins with him saying that everything is going according to his plan. So from what we get from this small section of the text spoilers, we see that most likely we haven't or we're not going to get a whole bunch into the actual fighting or the conflict. We're setting up the characters, having characters finally meet for the first time in this actual battle, with Jiro and Tokoyami meeting up with Uraraka and Froppy, as well as All For One potentially going with his opponent. But more specifically, we get to see that Dabi is finally confronting Endeavor, to which this is where we're going to begin seeing the conflict and the confrontation between them beginning to most likely spur up the moment and come out. But from here, we're pretty much getting towards the end of the text spoilers. The next line of text spoilers is pretty much talking about how All For One is thinking about what's happening with Kurogiri, and how when it comes to his plan, the only thing that he could have been better is if Kurogiri went to Gunga instead of Yue, because then he could have a more effective way of moving around compared to the teleportation goo quirk that he currently has. All For One then says that it's time to go to Tomura and flies off. Hawk says that this means he lost to the #1 hero, but All For One says that's nonsense. Dabi moves towards the Endeavor, and he says that this time he will fulfill his mission of keeping an eye on Toya. End of chapter. So yeah, from what we get with a little bit more of the images, it seems as if Hawks is able to get to All For One to a certain extent. He may not fully convince All For One to stay here, but it seems that he is going to keep him here in this moment from what we're seeing. But overall, what this chapter seems to entail is that we are setting up for things to come. This isn't going to be a very straightforward chapter. This is going to be strictly set up from what we see with the spoilers, setting up what Furapi and Uraraka are going to do with the help of Tokoyami and Jiro, what Endeavor's going to be doing with Toya, which is most likely fighting, and what's happening between All For One as well as Hawks. So overall, this is going to be more set up for what's to come, and I do believe that this chapter is going to be coming out during Christmas, so this is going to be a very happy time to read this chapter and review it and whatnot. But I cannot say for certain if we're going to be getting a chapter next week, or should I say a chapter over the next 2 weeks. We will obviously get the official one during the Christmas time, but there isn't to say that we will be getting one during New Year's because of Shonen Jump, because of breaks, and because of the holidays. We just don't know, but do not expect one anytime soon. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about the spoilers for this chapter. What did you think? Did you like them? Did you dislike them? What did you think? Leave your comments down below. Leave a like on the video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that bell to be notified whenever I upload more content like this. Do all that cool jazz, and hopefully I'll be able to catch you in my next video. Goodbye!